Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, everybody here on the West Coast. Man, oh man, you guys. So, this is the start of a new year. Many people like to start new things and new things. And you know what? There's a new career popping up for people in Connecticut, you guys. Okay, because Connecticut is going to hire a cannabis watchdog whose salary would range from $88,700 to $161,600 a year, you guys. That's right. Pull out your applications because you have today off. Because Connecticut's Office of Healthcare Advocate is looking for a cannabis ombudsperson to monitor the medical marijuana industry in the state. The job offering the salary between $88,710 and $161,639 annually was posted on December 23rd, just before the 6-month mark of Public Act number 23 through 79, which the Connecticut General Assembly passed on June 26th. The law, an act concerning cannabis regulations called the creation of the ombudsperson office in Section 49. Interesting, they're calling him an ombudsman. The proponent, the appointed individual must be familiar with the palliative use of marijuana and the medical cannabis system, the Act states, and the job posting accepting applications until January 23rd. Also states that have appointed ombudsmen must represent the interest of patients and caregivers and monitor and analyze the state's industry. The ombudsperson or ombudsman will also be responsible for recommending any changes to the development and implementation of federal, state, and local laws, regulations, and other government policies and actions concerning the health, safety, and welfare and rights of qualifying patients and caregivers. In quotes, we had to work with some of our partners at the Department of Administration Services, which oversees the human resources functions for the state, as well as the Office of Policy and Management, which deals with making sure there's a budget for it and how much that person is going to pay, King said. Those details aren't spelled out in the June law. Creating an entirely new position, office, and job class took time and collaboration, King said. The law states that the ombudsman's office is the healthcare advocate's office for administrative purposes only. King said once appointed, the ombudsman would act outside the OHA. In quotes, it's technically a completely separate office from us, King said. While we have the authority to appoint the ombudsman, that person is really largely acting independent of anything that the Office of Healthcare Advocates does, he said. In that part, it is why the OHA was ideal for appointing the ombudsman. In quotes, my understanding is that there was an interest in having it placed or associated with an agency that has some independence from outside political pressures, King said. And because our office fits that description, they assigned us the responsibility of having some administrative oversight. Lou Rindaldi, a citizen cannabis activist and system engineer at Yale University in New Haven, said the 6-month gap between the law's passing and the job's posting was too delayed. In quotes, I would have liked to have seen it sooner rather than later, and I would also like to see it a little bit more publicly for the job posting, Rinaldi said. Rinaldi, who is publicly skeptical of the state's cannabis administration and quality testing on his LinkedIn profile, said he hopes the appointed ombudsperson brings passion to the role and holds the industry accountable. Wonder what that's going to mean. But Rinaldi's worried the appointment could bring controlled opposition or sound and fury signifying nothing, he said, quoting the Shakespearean Macbeth. But Zach's chief operating officer and cannabis company, Fine Fettle, said the position is a step in the right direction, and he's been the state's cannabis market and he's seen the state's cannabis market increase offerings from adult use customers over the past year. In quotes, medical market and patient populations have changed since adult use happened, Zach said, and according to retail sales data from the state, medical cannabis sales have been trending down since March, while adult use sales have increased month over month since the market opened this past January until November's most recently published data. Though Rinaldi said the 6-month lapse between the Publics Act passing the ombudsman posting was too long, Zach disagreed and said it takes time. In quotes, you need to create the job description, you need to post it online, you need to get it in the budget, it needs to be added to a team's budget, the fine Fettel COO said. He also said, there's hopes that you go through even as a private company, right? If you decide, oh, we need to hire a retail manager, we don't post that job the next day, he says. Well. Connecticut's looking for an ombudsman. What do you guys think about this? Oh, Enrico has his Happy New Year cap on. Look at this. This guy's still turning up. Where's the champagne, Rico? What do y'all think about this?
Life me no place to turn but up, Jason.
I see. I can tell.
This is just a made-up position. Like, are you like a snitch from one side of the government to the other?
I mean, it's crazy, right?
I read this article 3 times. I read this article 3 times this morning. And I still don't really fully understand like where the ombudsman's power is best used, or is it just a position where they're just it's just a title? Then
I feel like it's just a title. I feel like it's how
broad salad.
Yeah, it's like practically doubled.
160.
Yeah, it's like practically doubled, bro. Like, what is going on? Like, you guys can't figure out what the job is worth, or like, are you looking for like someone with some certain type of experience, and based on that experience, they're going to get the higher pay or the lower pay, or like, what is going on over here?
I don't know. They're just trying to be everybody to everything to everybody, kind of like Nikki Haley.
Oh boy, it's the warmonger. Chris Eggers, quick question for you. In all your time in law enforcement and you seeing different law enforcement postings, have you ever seen something with a wage gap this disparaging?
I have not. I have not. So, we're looking at double, right? I mean, like, I'm with you. Who are we trying to attract here? How are we going to decide who's going to make 80 versus 160 something? I think it's all over the map. I mean, it's pretty telling right there.
Yeah, very, very true. Very telling. I mean, this is crazy to me. But what else are we?
There's also, I mean, obviously it's hard to hate against title from a role that includes the word "bud" in it. It's also hard to cast any wrongness with independent offices that are ideally designed to hold other stakeholders accountable. That wide range in salary is troubling because it doesn't seem to me that they would understand what are the most important qualifications and how to assign all their value to that within a government compensation structure. We've seen steady drumbeats of news that we've covered here on the show about important roles that get filled and then people are quickly exiting stage left in a variety of different markets. And so my hope would be not that we focus on the 6 months that it took to post up, but on what the process is where they're going to determine who's qualified to take this role so that there isn't turnover at an important position. And I'd like to see what their vision is in terms of the qualifications, who would earn 160 versus 80. And then my other hope would be that in an important role like this, if you have such a wide range of salary, that we are really trying to find the most qualified person for the most amount of money and not trying to pick somebody at the lower end of the range merely because they're less experienced. It seems like these roles deserve to have very qualified people in those spots. And while it's great that they have a 2x rank,
I think it's pretty
$80,000
pretty simple. I think it's pretty simple. If you are a white male, then you're going to be close to 180. And if you are black, brown, or woman, you're probably gonna be closer to that 81,000.
Oh man, come on, Rico. You're so cynical, bro. This is a wokey state, bro. This is a wokey state in Connecticut. You know, it's probably reversed. It's probably if you're white, you're gonna get the 80,000.
But it doesn't matter because you're probably like 200,000 bonuses.
I mean, hey, did you ever see that movie where it was like some like super elite special forces, but they weren't like really special forcemen. They were more like mythical mystery seekers or whatever.
Yeah, the Avengers.
It's something like that. Something. It wasn't the Avengers, the movie that I'm thinking of, but it was something like that. It was. But I will tell you this is very interesting because I feel like this name just sounds like they're trying to make some superhero character, an ombudsman.